So good morning everybody, here we are, Friday the 15th of May, coming to the end of week 7 I think, is it, of lockdown. Okay, so today we're going to start off with standing, and we're going to just do a little bit of warm up from standing. So let's just start off with taking our feet hip distance. And we're just going to think about standing on the floor. Notice the soles of the feet and notice the contact they're making with the ground. Very nice if you're outside. And then just drop your weight down. So I want to let you to feel that you're really giving your weight, allowing the earth to support you. Just take a few moments there just to spread your toes and notice all the different corners of your feet connecting. And then from there, we just slightly push down to lift up to straight legs. Now, when you straighten your legs, don't throw your backs of the knees back. Just keep your knees a little bit soft. Good. Okay, so we're going to inhale. Shoulders up to the ears, and let's take that into rotation. Now, as we do that, we can let the whole body get involved. So we're slightly bending our knees and straightening as we go. Breathing, inhale. In through the nose, out through the nose. Lovely. So let's change the direction now of that rotation. Lovely. And then we'll finish with the back and down. Right, let's take our hands a little bit wide, and then we're going to inhale. Reach up to the ceiling, hold for a moment, and exhale down. Inhale. Reach up for the ceiling, hold for a moment, exhale down. Reach up. And down. Good, let's change the direction of that. Great. Right, taking the feet a little bit wider, into take the left hand and then catch your wrist with your right hand, and then just stretch your left hand up a little bit more than your right, and then we're going to lean to the right. Lovely. And then change the other wrist, stretching up. And we're leaning to the left now. And again, reaching up. So it's like you're kind of stretching your wrist up with your right hand. And stretching the wrist up with your left hand. Great. And then release. Okay, and then we'll just have the hand but without catching, and then we'll slide down so you can go a little bit more to feel that stretch. And then changing hands. We'll do that again. And changing hands, changing sides. Lovely, and then release. Okay, so from there, rolling our shoulders back and down, we're going to catch the hands behind the back. Now, if you find when you catch that your shoulders are a bit restricted, then you can use your belt and just catch with your belt instead. So you decide if you're using a belt or not. I'm not going to use a belt, but whatever you've got, send your hands down to the floor and just roll your shoulders back and down. And then we are going to start to lean back. So we're showing the sternum to the ceiling. So don't throw your head back yet. Just think about bringing the sternum up. And for some of you, you can lean back quite a lot if you want, if that feels comfortable. And then if you like, you can take the head up, but I don't want to do that just now. Squeeze the shoulders. And release. So, okay, so we'll do that one more time. Catch the hands on your belt. Now you don't have to go far. It could be just a little stretch like that is giving you all that you need. But if you can go a little bit further. Lovely. And then release, and then just ease out. Great. Okay, let's do our wide leg stretch, taking the legs wide, bend the knees. So we're going to bring the elbows onto the knees and then transfer the weight over to your right foot so you feel the stretch in the inner leg. And then going to the other side, feel that stretch in the inner right leg this time. Breathing. Lovely. And then come back to center, bend both knees and just have your hands one on each knee, and then use your arms to push up into a straight position. Great. Right, so from there we're going to take our feet together. Now you can have them close together if that's comfortable for you, or you can have them slightly apart. I think close together works quite well for this one. So we're pressing our feet into the floor, roll our shoulders back and down. Might feel your chest feels more open. And then send your fingertips down to the floor. So we're doing our mountain pose, our Tadasana. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. So we're establishing our Ujjayi breath. So we're taking the breath in and out through the nose, but as if we were taking it in and out through the front of the throat. So you're making a slight sound. Lovely. So then we'll wait to take an inhalation to prepare. And exhale, we're lifting our arms up. Now, if you find that when your arms are here, you're a bit constricted, then just make a Y shape. If you can bring your inner arms towards your ears, then fine. And then we're going to just drop down and send our fingers away. See if we can hold for a few breaths. Shoulders away from the ears. So you can have your Y shape if that's fine, if that works better for you. If you are bringing the arms together, you're doing it by dropping the shoulders. And then inhale to come up. Lovely. And then back to our Tadasana, sending the fingers down. Opening through the chest, rolling the shoulders back and down. So we'll do that again. Inhale, bring the arms up. Decide where you want to have your arms. If you're coming closer, if you're coming parallel, you do it by really dropping the shoulders down. So you'll feel that a lot in the upper back. Don't bring the arms closer by hunching. It's better to have a Y shape. Exhale, dropping down, send your hands away, drop the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing in through the nose, lovely. Let's hold for a couple more breaths if we can. Out through the nose. And if you're, Anna, just drop your hands actually. You can take your hands behind you. And then inhale to come up. Yes, as in all the standing poses, if you are pregnant, particularly when you're heavily pregnant, you can do the leg version, but it's better with your arms, not to have the arms raised above the head if you're working with the legs. So that kind of position works better. So we can all try that position. So we'll do it one more time. We're going to bend, but this time just take the arms back behind you. Open the chest, bend the knees. And then if you want to be more exerting, you can bring the arms up. Because notice how you have to work quite a lot harder. Shoulders away from the ears. Breathing. Keep sitting. 2 more breaths. You can hold. And release. Very good. You can notice that's warmed you up, that position. Okay, so we're going to need our chair. So we'll put our chair to the side. So let's start off facing our chair. And we're going to take the left foot in front, the right, keep the right foot back. And then we're hinging from the top of the right leg. So this is our Trikonasana or triangle. So we're rotating, so now we're facing forward. Have your trunk facing forward. Your left hand on the chair. And then if you like, you can just bring one arm up. So it's okay to bring one arm up in this position, even if you're pregnant, because it's not adding a lot of stress to your body if you're also using a chair. Now, Richard, take your legs wider. And remember, you're hinging from the top of that left leg. Breathing, lovely. So we're going to take this into our reverse Trikonasana now. So we're going to take both hands on the chair, turn our back foot, and you might want to bring your foot in a little bit. And then keep the right hand on the chair, take your left hand away and turn now to face the other way. So in my case, I'm facing the back wall. See if you can really press that back heel down. You may need to be a little bit higher to get that rotation in the upper back. But if you're pretty flexible, you can go further away and begin to bring your trunk in a parallel line to the floor. Breathing. Shoulders away from the ears. Keep your back leg working. And then to come back, bring both hands onto your chair, and we're going to step forward with the right foot so that our feet are parallel, and we're going to just hang now in Uttanasana. So for you, the Uttanasana, it may be that you need to be higher for your Uttanasana. You want to find a way where you can feel a bit of stretch going on in the legs, but not to the point that it's making you tense up. And if your hamstrings are already quite flexible, then you can obviously go lower. We're looking to try and keep the hips over the ankles. There's always a tendency sometimes to go too far back. And then if it's possible, you can just let your head relax, perhaps onto the chair. And obviously, if you are going quite far forward and you're pregnant, you would need to do this with your legs wider to make sure you've got space for your bump. So never do anything that causes you discomfort or squishes you up in a way that doesn't feel nice. So if you have your forearms on the chair, you can just think about lengthening the crown of the head a little bit away and let your sit bones go back and up. So you're beginning to get a nice stretch through the spine, and then you can take the hands on the chair and we'll start to come up slowly. Shoulders away from the ears, bring the sternum forward, breathing. So hopefully you'll come up high enough till you feel that in the upper back. Very nice, Anna, that's lovely. Breathing. Take your hands higher, Richard. Can you put your hands higher? That's it. Now, shoulders away from the ears. Don't drop your head. The crown of the head's coming forward. Sternum coming forward. Come up a little bit more. Oh, can you feel that in the upper back? Nice stretch. Then bend your knees and then just let go with your hands. Take your hands behind you and come up with a nice straight back. Great. Okay, so let's try that to the other side. So we'll do it. Okay, you're going to move the chairs, are you? Well, if you're moving chairs, I'll move mine too. So we're going to start off facing down towards our chair. And this time bring the right foot forward, keep your left foot back. And we're hinging at the top of the right leg. Now it just depends on your body. It may be that you need to keep your hand really high on the top of the chair, because what we're looking for is to hinge from the top of the leg. But those of you that are more if you've got the possibility, you can obviously take that lower, and some of you can take the hand down if that works for you. So you're facing, Anna, towards the front of the room, towards the camera, and then you can bring the arm up. So you're opening the trunk to face forward, and we're breathing. In through the nose, out through the nose. Lovely. And then we're going to do our reverse now. So bring both hands onto your chair, and you're going to turn your back foot. And it may be that you want to bring your feet a little closer to get. Now we're going to leave our left hand where it is, and we're going to turn to the wall. You can come as high as you need in order to get your rotation. We're looking to get a nice action in the upper back. At the same time, if possible, keeping that back heel down. So you might feel the stretch a lot in the back calf. Breathing. And then both hands on the chair. Bring our feet parallel, and then we'll do our Uttanasana again. Forward bend. So wherever you land, see if you can get a feeling of lengthening through your spine, lengthening the crown of the head away, the sternum goes forward and down. Actually, forward and up, actually. Forward and up, shoulders away from the ears. Nice, so lovely. Feeling that in the back of the legs, but also hopefully in the upper back. A lovely stretch. And if you want, you can just hang. Okay, and then walking the hands onto the chair, so come up a little bit, bend the knees, and we're going to take the sternum forward, hands behind us to come up with a nice open chest. Great, lovely. Right, so we'll move the chair out of the way for the moment. So we're going to do one of the warrior poses. So we'll take our feet wide. Now, you can use the wall to support you if you feel the need. So if you're going to be with the wall, just don't go too close, but don't actually be touching it, but just beside it. And we're going to have our feet 3 to 3.5 feet apart. Well, a bit more actually, 4 to 4.5 feet. And then our left foot is facing forward and our right foot is turning slightly. And we're going to keep our hips pointing forward, but this left knee is starting to bend it. So we want to bend our left knee so it comes over the right ankle. And as you do that, you're going to feel it in this hip, because don't let this hip roll towards your knee, rather keep it rotated away. So you're beginning to get a feeling of openness in the hip. So if you find that that's too much for you, then go a little bit closer and maintain it so that you can open your hips in opposite. So one's rolling this way, one's rolling that way. Good. And then if that feels okay, and if you're not pregnant, don't do that, and don't lift your arms, you can bring the arms up. But if you're working with the legs, Anna, are you using the wall? So if you keep that left thigh parallel to the wall, and then you can just work on dropping a little bit more. If we're using our hands, we're looking along our left side. Breathing, let's hold for 2 more breaths. Lovely, and then inhale to come up. Great, and then turn our feet front, and we're going to face the other way. So right foot is running parallel to the wall or to the mat, and the left foot slightly turns, and then we're going to just bend that knee to bring the knee above the ankle, and then if that's fine, just lift the arms. And if you're doing it without the arm lift, then just see how much you can sink down, opening your thighs, opening your in the groin so that you're not collapsing in, but you're opening out. So that knee stays above the ankle, shoulders down. So ideally we're looking to get a parallel line with the thigh and the mat, but obviously that's fine. That's not happening. Shoulders down, breathing. Let's hold for 2 more breaths. And then inhale. Great, to come up and turn the feet. And then let's bring our feet together. And we'll just ease out. Okay, so we'll do our wide leg forward bend now, so take our feet wide again. And then we're going to just hinge, using the chair. Those of you that are pretty flexible can go lower. So find a good height for you. How do you know the right height? Because you don't want to be having a big humpy back. You want to feel that you can bring your sternum forward. So you can rest your head on your arms if you've got the right height. But keep thinking about bringing the sternum forward so you're getting a lovely long line in your spine. That's very nice, Hazel. Good. Lovely. And then to come up, we're lengthening the crown of the head forward, the sternum forward, keeping our shoulders back. And if you want to, you can just take your hands on your hips and come up like that, or you can use your chair and push up. Great. All right, so from there, we're going to head down to the floor. So you need to have a cushion to sit on if you find that helpful. So what we're looking for is to have a nice straight spine. So if you find that when you're sitting on the floor, it's quite hard to get that lift, then it's absolutely fine to get a bit of height. Lovely. So we're going to sit with our legs crossed. Now, if crossing legs is not really working for you, you can always just have your feet either straight out or have your knees bent and your feet on the floor. You can do something like that. So just find something that can work for you. And also, it's always good to get even higher if you have that issue with the hips. Get as high as you need. So we're going to take our belt and make a loop with it, which is going to be shoulder distance. So if you have your belt, so when you push against it, you're about shoulder distance. Now you need it to be wider if you know that you're a bit stiff in the shoulder, or now it's fine when you're sitting. It's when you're pregnant and you're on the floor, so you're not working your legs, so then you can work your arms fine and take them over your head. That's absolutely fine. So pushing the hands together, parallel hands, and then we're going to stretch up. Lovely. Now, if you find that really easy, or you have to kind of, you can make the belt a little bit tighter. So what we're doing is we're pushing against our belt and dropping our shoulders, and the palms are parallel. And just think about the back of the waist. We're just allowing the back of the waist to go back behind us. Very nice. That's lovely, Hazel. Breathing. Can we drop the shoulders even more? Thinking about our sit bones, descending our sit bones. Really press the arms into your belt so your elbows begin to straighten. Lovely, and then just have a wee rest. Let's just change the way we're crossing our legs. So bringing the other leg in front. Do that again. So adjusting the belt to get the right stretch for you, pushing against it. Arms facing each other, fingertips pointing up to the ceiling, shoulders dropping down. Now, if you find that it's quite hard to do, then just bring your hands forward a little bit and keep pushing against your belt. But if you find that it's quite okay, then you can think about bringing your thumbs back, but keep the shoulders dropping. So you're really feeling that in the upper back. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Keep pushing the arms into your belt. 3 more breaths. Great, and then release. And then just gently ease out. Right, we're going to take now our belt in our right hand and drop it down our back and reach up to catch with the left hand. So we want that right elbow to point up to the ceiling and keep, so we're trying to avoid doing this kind of thing. Keeping the spine as stacked as possible. Shoulders dropping down, breathing. You can work your hand down your belt. Some of you will be able to catch your fingers and you won't need the belt. Think about your sit bones descending. Drop the shoulders. And release. Good. Just ease out. And we'll change side. So taking the belt in the left arm now, dropping it down. If you can get that elbow to point up to the ceiling, reaching back with the right hand while keeping your spine nice and stacked. Shoulders dropping away from the ear. Nice, and release. Great, and then just gently ease out. Okay, so let's just swap our legs again. So we'll have a little stretch and oops, bring the original side together. Okay, so hands onto our knees, open the chest. Just make sure that you're not thrusting forward with your ribs, so just allow the back of the waist to settle towards the back of the room, and then we're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, actually we can use our belt with this too, so you can take your belt around your right leg, catch the belt with your left hand, and then we're going to just lift and turn. Now for some of you, you might prefer not to have the belt, you can just use your hand on your leg. Depends on your body shape and also how flexible you're feeling today. And we're breathing. So lovely straight spine. If necessary, you can be leaning back slightly. Keep feeling like a corkscrew. You want to get a feeling of lifting up through the crown of the head. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Okay, and we'll try that to the other side. So you can always start off with the belt and then let go as you warm into it. But what we want to do is make sure that we've got a really lot of height. So we're taking right hand on left knee or the belt. Get as much height as we can before we turn. And we're taking that left hand behind it. Breathing. And then release, coming back to center. Great, and then from there, just give your legs a little shiggle. And we'll just take the soles of the feet together. And just bring them in to where you can manage. And we can have the belt around the feet if that works, or some of you can catch. So what we want to do is have the chest free, so we don't want, if you're finding that you're doing this sort of position, then it's better to use the belt and keep that lift. Lovely, so we're breathing. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Keep projecting your sit bones down, sending the crown of the head up, dropping the shoulders. So it becomes very active. If you're quite far down, you can push your feet into each other a little bit more, particularly the outside edge of your feet. Some of you, if your knees are already on the floor, you can take the big toe side of the foot away from, so that you're even opening more. Otherwise, we're getting as much height as we can, using our belt if that helps. Breathing. Lovely, and then release from that. So we're going to keep our left leg where it is, just straighten our right leg. And you can have the legs a little bit apart, fanned out, and then using your belt around that right foot. We're just going to lift, and then if there is any forward movement, you can come forward. So obviously if you're pregnant, make that movement more coming forward slightly to the side of your right leg. If you are bending forward, you can use your left hand to get your rotation, so you're beginning to try and bring your trunk over your right leg, and then bending forward. If you're quite far down, you can use your left hand on the outside edge of your right foot and your right hand on the inside edge. And then to come up, elongate through the spine. And we'll swap round. So taking the legs wide and moving, beginning to turn your trunk to face down the left leg. If you're going down, if you're far down, take your right hand to the outside edge of your left leg, your left hand to the inside. You can begin to come forward, or you can use your belt. And don't forget, if you need to, you can stay really tall. You don't have to come forward if that's not happening in your body. And then if we're pregnant, then we come forward. And in a way, it's not so much about coming forward. Think about more lengthening up through the spine for those of you that are quite heavily pregnant. So you're wanting to get a feeling of opening and lengthening, but a little bit of a forward tilt, so you're working in the hips now. And if you get really far down, you can take your hands, catch one hand with the other. Nice. And then ease out. Okay. So now keep your right leg where it is. Can you just bring your left foot behind you, so that you want to have your foot going, your toes going straight back, so that you're stretching through the top of the foot. So if you find when you do that, that you're tilting to one side, then this is where you can use a cushion under your hips to keep yourself straight. So we've got the right foot in front, and we're really thinking about dropping down that left hip. So for me, that is quite tight, so that's quite a challenge for me, but for those of you that are young and frisky, it won't be a challenge at all. So give yourself as much height as you need, and then we're going to just take the hands out to the side. Lovely. And then turning to the right, get the height, rotate. Now as you rotate, really allow that left hip to stay sunk, stay down. So don't let it come up. Just go as much as you're, or as little as works for you. Breathing. Opening the chest. Lovely. And then coming back to center, we'll go the other way. And we'll try that to the other side. So straighten out the legs. Bring your left leg into the cross leg position, and then the right foot behind, going straight back behind you. Just have a little gap between the heel and the thigh, and it's time. You can put something under your left hip to help you to have your hips even. So this time we're descending the right hip down. Breathing. And then turning to the left. As we turn to the left, keeping that right hip down. Lovely. Okay, and then we're going the other way. Check we've got our hips on the same plane. Getting our height. Rotate. Nice. And then gently easing out. Great. Okay, and let's just have a little shake out of our legs now. So from there we're going to head for the mat to do a couple of warm downs, cool downs. And then if you want to put your socks on now, it might just be a good idea and have your blanket ready if you think you might get cold. And what we're going to do is take our right ankle in front of our left and just bring our left knee towards us. So we've got our right hand through the gap. If you find that your chin is going back behind you, then you probably benefit from having a cushion under your head. And then changing side. And remember, you can use your belt. If you find it's a bit awkward to catch, you can use your belt. And if you're doing this, if you're not lying on the floor because of pregnancy, then you lean against the wall and you take it in turns to bring the leg up one at a time. So that you, just to feel that glute stretch going on there. And then obviously, if you're going against the wall, just swap. You can just lean slightly into the wall if you're doing the wall one. It's quite useful having the wall because it helps you to keep aligned. And you can feel wherever you need to get that stretch a little bit more. Nice. And then release from that. And then we'll do it, we'll all do it the same way. So if you start off on one side, so this is my left side, and then you can bring a cushion between your knees. So we're lying on one side, on the left side, and then we're going to just roll the right shoulder away till we get a comfortable opening. Tucking the shoulders under. Just allowing the breath to fill the belly on that inhalation and gently sink on the exhalation. Okay, and then we'll roll to the other side and just do the same. So we're on our right side now. And then this time we're rotating the left shoulder. So a little bit of rotation going on in the upper body. So you're letting your hips turn to the right and your upper body is going to the left. So just find a comfortable position for yourself. We're going to really allow the breath to fill the belly on that inhalation. And just sinking on the exhalation. Nice, and then from there we're going to move into our relaxation position. So if you're far enough on in your pregnancy that it's not comfortable to lie on the floor, then just choose which side you like, and the rest of us can just bring something under our knees if you find that is helping you with your relaxation. You can have the soles of the feet towards each other and allowing the knees just to drop to the side. And if you need a blanket, put Put that on and tuck your shoulders under. So you're opening in the chest. And you want to rotate your shoulders so that the palm faces up to the ceiling. Check if you've allowed your lower jaw to fall away from the upper jaw. There's a little gap between your lips and the tongue soft in the mouth. And then just, when we're ready, we're going to get ready to move our fingers and toes. Stretch your arms and legs. And just have a big stretch. And then just moving aside any cushions that you were using. You can just roll onto one side. And then gradually, as you're ready, we can come into a sitting position. Lovely. Thank you all.